Hi, friends. It's Laura Heck here. I have been working with couples all week, and I just am getting this consistent pattern of a skill that most of my couples have not yet developed. And I just think that if all couples had this one skill that they can master in their relationship, their conversations that can easily get derailed or escalate quickly about seemingly nothing at all, can really go a different direction. It could be gentle, it could be understanding. So what is that skill? It's called validation. It's probably a fancy word that couple therapists use all the time, but everyone in their everyday life probably doesn't use the word validation very often. So what is validation? Validating your partner is simply their experience, whether it be emotions that come up for them or their point of view on the way that something happened, and being able to say, okay, what you just said to me is your experience, and your experience is true. It absolutely happened for you. And what I oftentimes find is that we as listeners hear someone else's experience and immediately find fault. And the truth is, you can't argue with someone else's experience. The fact that they were sad that their best friend is getting a divorce, that's their experience. They are absolutely entitled to those feelings, those emotions, and those thoughts. So I want to teach you how to be an incredibly validating partner for your partner. And here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see what I'm looking at. And I have 4 different ways actually that you can communicate to your partner. So I've summarized them here. I'm going to go into greater detail with each slide. So first of all, one problem that I see that couples have is that they don't necessarily share the same experience. Your best friend getting a divorce doesn't make you sad, but it makes your partner sad. And so you don't necessarily agree. You don't see eye to eye. But here's the beauty about validation. It is at no cost to you, because you don't have to agree with your partner in order to validate their feelings and acknowledge them as important. Validating doesn't mean that you concede that they are correct, and it doesn't mean that their feelings negate your own feelings. Validation is at no cost to you, and it absolutely is you can't put a price on the way that it feels to be validated by your partner. So here's what validation is. It's simply providing a safe place for your partner to land and assuring them that they are accepted, the good, the bad, and the unexplainable. Because whatever they're bringing to you, whatever emotion they're bringing to you, whatever thought they have, you're saying, absolutely. I believe that that is your experience, and it is okay for you to have that experience, even though it may not be your experience. Are you following me here? Okay, so step number 1 is to remain present. And I find that this becomes difficult most often when the listener is uncomfortable with big emotions. So imagine that your partner is having a very difficult time and their emotions are so valid, so escalated. They're really angry, they're really frustrated, they're really sad, and those feelings are uncomfortable, and it makes you want to run away. And so most often the listener who's uncomfortable with big emotions is going to dismiss their partner's emotions. Oh, come on, it isn't that bad. Oh, they'll get over it. Those are dismissing those emotions, saying you shouldn't feel that way. When in reality, what you're probably thinking is, I don't like these emotions. They're uncomfortable for me. And so I'm going to help you to get out of whatever feeling you're having. Now, what I want for you to practice doing is just be present. And the easiest way to just be present is to recognize when you start to feel uncomfortable inside your body with your partner displaying a certain emotion, and just recognize that it's there. But instead of dismissing their emotion, just remain present and say, I know that's really hard for you, or that is very difficult. So here's a question to ask your partner. What emotions make you most uncomfortable? This is just an exercise in being able to understand your partner a little bit better. They might be very comfortable with emotions, and that's why they display all of them. However, you might feel very uncomfortable with anger. And so when your partner displays anger, you find it very difficult to remain present and validating to their angry expression of anger. So it's just a good question to ask. Understand what your partner is uncomfortable with, if there's any emotions that they're uncomfortable with. Here's the second way to validate your partner. Summarize using your partner's words. So if your partner is talking to you about feeling, well, I gave this example. So you're feeling belittled by your boss and you would love to quit. So your partner may come to you and say, it was another horrible day. My boss is just so condescending. He makes me feel about this small, and I just want to walk into his office and I want to quit today. And I just want to volunteer at the kids' school for the next year. And inside you're thinking, you can't quit. We have bills to pay. You can't quit. But instead of saying that, what you're going to do is you're going to summarize your partner's words. Let them know that you hear them, that you hear the words that are coming out of their mouth rather than either giving your own comments or arguing. So you're feeling belittled by your boss and you'd love to quit. Number 3, play charades. So this is kind of funny because I think ultimately we need to get really good about putting words to our own feelings. However, in the event that your partner is not as emotionally attuned with themselves, they may not know what they're feeling. And so as a listener, I want you to just try and take your best guess at naming your partner's emotional state. So if you see that they're really sad, but they haven't said, I'm sad about this, I want for you to say something like, boy, you know, it just looks to me like you're really sad about your best friend's divorce. Now, your partner who's talking is going to feel so validated. They're going to feel so connected, like, wow, you really get me, because you can tell that I'm feeling sad, even though I didn't say that, but you are so attuned to me, you understand my experience. And that's what I want ultimately, is I want for you to portray to your partner, I get you, I understand you, and you are completely okay having these feelings and thoughts. All right, so here's the deal. Even if you're wrong and you guess wrong, boy, it looks to me like you're really sad about your best friend's divorce. Your partner might think and say, no, I'm not sad. I'm just really disappointed. Either way, you're trying, and it's an attempt to connect and to understand their emotional experience and to open the door for them to talk about their emotional experience. That's the goal. Okay, step number 4, I want for you to normalize their experience. So as you're hearing what they're talking about, I want for you to say something like, you know what, you are a strong woman, and anybody would feel worn down by a schedule as demanding as yours. You're basically saying, wow, absolutely you would be sad. Absolutely you would be disappointed. Absolutely these things would be going on for you. So you're going to normalize their experience that they are not crazy, because that is the problem most often, is we feel like we're crazy for having these emotions. And as the listener, I want for you to validate your partner and be like, you are not crazy. Of anyone in your shoes would be having this experience. All right, so here's the opposite. What I don't want is invalidation, because invalidation sends the message that their subjective experience is inaccurate, that it's insignificant, and it's unacceptable. Instead, I want for us to be sending the message to our partner that they are loved, that they are seen, that they are heard, and that they are acceptable just as they are showing up to us with their feelings and emotions. Thank you so much for joining me as I have talked about a topic today that means a lot to me, all about validation. I hope that this is a little bit more helpful for you. And if you have any questions, send us an email. Thanks so much.